Hey guys, welcome back. Sniper has a gun. Sometimes he has a bow, but usually he has a gun. He shoots people from far away and rarely if ever needs to do anything else. But sometimes a speedy scout, sneaky spy, or salivating soldier main wriggles their way past the front lines and forces the sniper to do battle not on his terms. To this end, Sniper has a series of specialty support items he can pull out in a pinch. These range from controversial to cowardly, but one of them is seriously underestimated by the community at large. Well, I'll see about that. Hit the intro! Let's start with the elephant in the room. The JARATE is really good. I mean, you can extinguish fire on yourself and teammates, reveal cloaked spies, and splash anyone in the rather large radius with a hefty debuff of taking 35% extra damage. I don't need to tell you that enemies coated in this stuff fold like wet tissue paper, and the sheer versatility of this item has made it a hotly debated one for longer than I've been playing. The downside, of course, is that equipping this means you don't have an SMG and only have your primary and melee to work with damage-wise. That being said, Sniper doesn't really charge into battle too much anyway, so it doesn't really feel like you're missing too much without a second gun. Also, it takes 20 seconds to recharge after throwing it, so you have to be careful when you use it. Wasting it too early and being stuck without your jar can be a quick road to death. The argument can certainly be made that the JARATE does too much for too little effort, but I'm not so sure it's as blatantly overpowered as some would suggest. Despite its overwhelming upsides, equipping this jar of P really does reduce your mid-range fight capabilities. If somebody runs up to you, you have to first splash them with the jar and then either back up and no-scope them repeatedly with a sniper rifle, or get in melee range and risk it all to smack them to death. Yeah, they're taking more damage, but close range is where every class besides Sniper excels, so the win is far from guaranteed, especially against spies. I haven't equipped the JARATE for a long time, because having only melee in my primary to work with is far too frustrating, and the Bushwhacker combo is honestly too gimmicky to be consistent for me. Here we are, with Sniper's only secondary that's an actual gun. It's not very good. The Cleaner's Carbine is a silenced SMG that fires more slowly and holds less ammo than stock, so in terms of damage per second it's a straight downgrade. But in return, damaging enemies with the Carbine fills a meter. Once you've done 100 damage, you can right click to get guaranteed mini crits on all your weapons for 8 seconds. This is even more gimmicky than the JARATE. Dealing 100 damage with a stock SMG would be sort of difficult, but getting that meter filled with this thing? If you're just playing Sniper normally, the chances of you filling the crikey meter are basically zero. Yeah, when the mini crits are active, the Carbine can cut people up pretty good if you have decent tracking, but you have to spend the rest of the game with a gimped sidearm as a trade-off. Also, you can combo this thing with the Bushwhacker like the JARATE to get guaranteed melee crits. Guys, the Bushwhacker isn't a problem. You take an additional 20% damage from all sources while it's out. If you just equip the stock melee, you get no damage vulnerability and it will likely randomly crit anyway. The Bushwhacker, when combined with JARATE or Carbine, is only really effective against spies. If you can't kill a light class who's running at you with his melee out who has 20% damage vulnerability to all sources when you're at close range, then that, my friend, is a skill issue. I have never once in my life felt that the JARATE or Bushwhacker were overpowered, because the Sniper has to put himself in so much danger to take advantage of the combo. I know the Bushwhacker isn't a secondary, but it's so often paired with both the Carbine and JARATE that I had to bring it up. The snipers that have given me the most trouble have always been ones wearing one of the backpacks. Speaking of which, I really like this item. It's a decent side grade that's situationally useful without being obnoxious. The Cozy Camper is a backpack that has several upsides. It reduces knockback by 20% while aiming, it eliminates flinching when aiming and fully charged, and it passively regenerates up to 4 health per second. This thing may as well be the Huntsman enabler, since bowman snipers don't need as much of a mid-range weapon anyway, although it can really help to have one, because the bow is a mid-range weapon. Going off on your own and sniping the sidelines is now a real option, since the health regen eliminates much of your need for health packs. Stray flares and bullets no longer send you scurrying, since you can just hide and heal up. This item is a solid B+ for me. Straight up, I get why people hate this thing so much. But I don't. The Razorback is a wooden shield Sniper can equip on his back that will protect him from a single backstab. If a spy tries to kill a sniper wearing it, the shield breaks and the spy is electrically shocked, unable to attack or swap weapons for a moment. The shield recharges after 30 seconds, and as a penalty for equipping it, the sniper receives no overheal from medics. It's important to remember that I used to main spy. For a couple years, I mostly only played spy, and he's still one of my favorites to this day. So the Razorback, an item specifically designed to counter me, is fine, because it doesn't. The Razorback does not and has never utterly nullified spies because, and I know this one is shocking, but Spy has a gun! I'm sorry, but who are all these spy players who find themselves utterly incapable of killing a Razorback sniper? Just walk up behind him and shoot him 3 times, or 2 shots with the Enforcer, or 2 shots with the Ambassador if you can manage to land 1 headshot on a sniper that's standing still at point blank. So difficult, I know. I am at an utter loss to understand why people have the gall to talk about balance when they can't even hit a stationary target at close range. But one of the most common things people do when discussing sniper, especially something I can't stand, is the teamwork double standard. The teamwork double standard is a term I invented because I see it everywhere and it drives me up the wall. It goes like this. I can't counter snipers because I need to use teamwork and that never works. Nobody works together in pubs. If I try to kill him on my own, the sniper's team will work with him to protect him. Do you see the problem with this argument? You can't tell people to use teamwork because nobody works together in casual, but also sniper is impossible to kill because he and his team use teamwork. It's such an obnoxious double standard, especially since it isn't even true. Either nobody in casual ever works together, or sniper is impossible to kill because of teamwork. You can't argue both. Here's a clip of me killing a sniper that's surrounded by teammates and protected by a sentry. Here's me doing it again. And again, the jury has made their verdict. I will restate my case for the court. If you can't kill a sniper as spy, you're just not very good. It's never been all that difficult. I bring all this up because it's especially relevant concerning the Razorback. People act as if just by equipping this item, Sniper Thanos snaps spy out of the universe. If my twitchy epileptic ass can hit 3 shots in a row on a stationary target, so can you. Get good. The Danger Shield. It does 2 things, reduces incoming fire damage by half and eliminates afterburn. To be honest, this thing has one purpose and one purpose only, which is to screw over flare gun pyros. One of the many things a sniper has to deal with is the occasional flare that will light him on fire and send him running off to a health pack, which subsequently clears his line of sight for the enemy to push. Even if he has the JARATE, he still has to unscope, take out the jar, and throw it at the ground to extinguish himself, and in that time the pyro can easily just shoot another flare at him. The Danger Shield takes all the thought out of it and just makes the sniper immune to afterburn and protects him from half of all direct fire damage. Yes, burning a sniper to death does take longer if he has the Danger Shield, but 1, it's only like 0.7 seconds longer with the shield equipped, assuming you can keep flaming him the entire time, and 2, a pyro with a shotgun counters this item hard. The same as with the Razorback. The sniper has no mid-range power when he has the Danger Shield equipped, so just, shoot him. Not to mention backburner or flog crits will still melt a sniper to death in seconds, regardless of the shield. It's really not something I equip unless the enemy team has 1 or more scorch shot pyros that are really focusing me. Then I do, since without afterburn a scarf shot is kinda useless, which is also why the man melter counters it. But out of all of Sniper's secondaries, which support slinging side grade seals the deal? This is Sniper's best secondary. No, don't leave. I can prove it. Valve really knew what they were doing giving the Sniper something like this, as more than any other side grade it solves the main problem Sniper has, that he's weak at close range. Now you might be thinking, but the SMG doesn't do good damage. Yes it does. It does pretty decent damage actually, so long as you hit all your shots. It's a backup weapon. You aren't meant to be using it 100% of the time, but so is Scout's pistol, and that thing works great. In fact, if you think of the SMG the same way you think about the pistol for Engineer and Scout, it suddenly makes sense. You use them the same way, they have similar damage per second, and honestly the SMG can do quite well when you've just been flanked and need to shoot some folk. Sure, you could risk it all in a quickscope headshot, but what if there's more than one person? What if you just miss? The SMG has your back. Run backwards and spray the flankers down. Anything except a heavy can die in one SMG clip provided you hit all your shots. Less when accounting for ramp up. It's good. It's seriously good. I don't get the dismissal. What? Just because it doesn't do 150 damage per shot like your primary, it must be garbage? Come on! Aim a little! Channel the spirit of the Monster Energy drinking, Call of Duty obsessed Kevin and use the SMG. It's far more effective than anyone is prepared for, especially because of the SMG's weird stereotype of being bad. Not to mention, it combos really nicely with the Huntsman, since a fully charged body shot with the bow deals 120 damage. You can easily swap to the SMG to clean up wounded enemies if you miss your headshot, which is twice as fast as waiting on the bow's slow reload. This is an A+ top tier bacon grease secondary, and I will not hear otherwise. Everything a secondary needs to do, it does. What more do you want? Go use it. That's the video. Like, subscribe, get out of here.